Namo Namaha. Welcome to the episode 5 of the Inscription Series. And today we will be beginning with actually reading the inscription of Samudragupta. Now, the inscription is in Sanskrit. It is mix of Padya, that is poetry, and Gadya, that is prose. So we will be reading the Gadya part. And this Prashasti is by Harishen. So let's begin. Tasya विविध समर शतावरण दक्षस्य. He who is skillful in engaging in hundreds of battles of various kinds. He can engage in battles of different types. It is a very good quality of king who can engage in different kinds of battles. Now, Samudragupta's coin has similar description. It is Samara Shata Vijayi. Coming to the next. स्वभुज बल पराक्रमई बंधो. स्वभुज बल पराक्रमैक बंधो, whose only ally is his valor, depending upon the strength of his arms. Now this line shows self-confidence of Samudragupta about his capabilities. Parakramankasya, who has an emblem of valor. This is the word parakramanka, which we find mostly on coins of Samudragupta. Then coming to next, Parashu Sharashanka Shakti Prasasito. Parashu Sharashanka Shakti Prasasito Mara Vindi Palanaracha Vaitasti Kadhyaneka Praharana Virudha Kulavana Shatanka Shobha Samudayopachita Kantatara Vashmana, whose body looked more attractive because of accumulation of grace of hundreds of scars created by severe wounds caused from various weapons like axe, that is parashu, arrow, that is shara, spear, that is shanku, dart, that is prasa, sword, that is asi, club, tomara, javelin, that is vindipala, naracha means iron arrows, vaitastika, and etc. Now, this cannot be a better compliment to a king than this, that he is looking attractive because of his wounds, because of his courage. Kausalaka Mahendra Mahakantaraka Vyagraraja Kairalakam Ashtaraja Paishtapurakam Mahendra Girikotturaka Swami Dattairanda Pallakadamana कांचीयक विष्णु गोपाल कनील राज वैंगेयक हस्तिवर्म पालक पोग्रसेन दैवराष्ट्रक कुबेर कौस्थलपूरक धनंजय प्रभृति सर्व दक्षिणापथ राज ग्रहण मोक्षानुग्रह जनित प्रतापोन्मिश्र महाभाग्यस्य, whose great fortune along with the valor increased by his glory, produced because of his policy of acquisition, liberation and favor, that is Grahana Mokshanugraha, applied all the kings, included the king Mahendra of Kosala, Vyagraraja of Mahakantara, Mantaraja of Kerala, Mahendra of Ishtapura, Kottura Swami Datta, Erandapallas Pallakadamana, Vishnu Gopa of Kanchi, Neela Raja of Avagupta, Hastivarma of Bengi, Ugrasena of Palakpur, Kubera of Devarashtra, Dhananjaya of Kusthala, and all other smaller kingdoms in the south. So now, here we have mentioned the names of the kingdoms. Now these kingdoms, what are their exact locations today? So Kausalaka Mahendra, that is Kosala Rajya. Kosala kingdom is today the region of Madhya Pradesh and Odisha on the river bank of Mahanadi. The king Mahendra is not comprehended. It can't be understood as it is either the name of the king or it might be just a designation. Then Mahakantaraka Vyagra Raja. So the word Kantara basically indicates that the area will be a forest region. This area is the Bundelkhand forest region. It could be a smaller kingdom. Kairala ko Mantarajan. Now there is a scholar named Kilhorn who says that the place is not Kairala, rather it is Kaurala. In Andhra Pradesh, there is a lake named Kaunala. So it might be the region around that lake. Now we find the mention of area of Kaunala in Chalukya king Pulakeshi II's inscription. But it remains a question whether it is Kaunala of Andhra Pradesh or it's Kairal. Coming next to Pishtapura. Now Pishtapura is actually Pithakur from Andhra Pradesh. The Aihole inscription of Chalukya king Pulakeshi II mentions about Pithakur. Through these, we can understand that names of the regions were same in 3rd century and 7th century, and the names changed after few years after. Now, Giri Kottura ka Swami Datta. Kottura is a place in Andhra Pradesh which is the forest area of Ganjam city. Now, Bhandarkar says that Giri is connected to Mahendra. Now, there is a grammatical concept of Tadbhita. So, the Kosala king was called as Kausala. So, the one who belonged to Kosala is Kausala. Now, these Tadbhits are found everywhere, like Kosala's Kausalaka or Kerala's Kairala or Pishtapura's Paishtapura. But here, Giri Kottura, here we find Kottura's Kottura, but we don't find any change in the word Giri. So, Mahendragiri might be the name of king of Pishtapura. A historian named Ramdas says that Swami Datta was the only king ruling Pishtapura and Kottura near Mahendragiri. He says Mahendragiri as the name of the king is not found in history. These are basically the opinions given by scholars according to their research. We actually don't know what would be the truth. Coming to the next, Irandapalla Kadamana. Irandapalla means today's Khandesh. Kancheya ka Vishnu Gopal. Kancheya, that is Kanchi's king, Vishnu Gopal. Kanchi is today's Kanchipura. Avamukta ka Neelaraj. Now, Avamukta is a non-deciphered kingdom. But there are few speculations. Near Kanchi, on the bank of river Godavari, Avamukta might be there. Because it is mentioned as a Tirthasthana in Brahma Purana. Coming to next, Vaingeyaka Hastivarma. Hastivarma of Vengi. Now, the Chalukyas of Vengi existed. Later, they merged in the Chola dynasty. Palakka ko Ugrasena. Palakka might be a very small kingdom from state of Tamil Nadu, and the king was Ugrasena. Daivarashtra ka Kubera. Kubera from Devarashtra, which is near Vishakhapattanam in the small district of Yellampalli. Whereas Smith says it is in Maharashtra. But if the person is going towards the south, it is a very least possibility he would come to Maharashtra in YouTube. Coming to next, Kausthalapura ka Dhananjaya. Kausthalapura is the area of Kuttalura and Kolura as per Bhandarkar. This place is said to be in district of Arkat in Tamil Nadu. Smith says that it is deciphered wrongly. Actually, it is Kushasthalapura. But this comes in Dwarka in Gujarat. So this opinion is not acceptable as Samudragupta cannot go directly Gujarat while in South India. Same it is regarding the Devarashtra being in Maharashtra. Now coming towards the main part, which I said we would be discussing while reading, that is Grahana Mokshanugraha policy. Now, political strategy for the southern kingdoms of India of Samudragupta was this one. Grahana means defeated and overpowered. Moksha means liberated. Anugraha means conferred autonomy but with certain restrictions. Now this policy was used for easy administration. As Samudragupta's capital was in Patliputra, which was quite away from the southern kingdoms. Along with easy administration, the policy helped with winning the hearts of the subjects of those kings, as Samudragupta didn't destroy their kings. Now the people from those areas would have a connection with the king, a rapport with the king, and if another kingdom captures it, they would be in tension how the another king would do. Now, liberating that king shows his compassion as well as a policy that the subjects would be good. There would be no withdrawal, there would be no opposition much because the king who has conferred autonomy, though with certain restrictions, but we have the same king, we have that security. Now, the Vakatakas were not attacked by Samudragupta. They had a very great kingdom, difficult to defeat. So, Guptas, instead of defeating them, they established friendly relations with them. But along with it, Samudragupta defeated and won over the border kingdoms of Vakatakas kingdom so that they would be under pressure indirectly. Now, Samudragupta won over eastern coastal area, which paved his way for development in trade business. He established trade relations with Southeast Asian countries, Java, Sumatra, Bali, Indonesia. Now coming to the next line of the inscription, Rudradevan, Matila, Nagadatta, Chandravarma, Ganapati Naga, Nagasena, Achyuta, Nandi, Balavarma, Dhyaneka, Aryavarta, Rajaprasabodharana, Udvrutta, Prabhava, the one who uprooted these kingdoms vehemently, he became great by his power by destroying the kingdoms of Rudradeva, Matila, Nagadatta, Chandravarma, Ganapati Naga, Nagasena, Achyuta, Nandi, and Balavarama. Now, Rudradeva, he is considered that he might be the first king of Vakatakas, who was Rudrasena I. Matila, now Matila's coin is found in Bulandashahara in Uttar Pradesh. Ganapati Naga. Now the three kings, Ganapati Naga, Nagasena, Achyuta. These three are said to be from the Naga dynasty. Ganapati Naga was regional governor of Ahitchatra. It might be Prayaga. Nagasena of Padmavati, that is Padmapavaya, and Achyuta of Mathura. Nagasena's mention is found in Bana's Harshacharita as king of Padmavati. Nagasena is mostly said to be a foolish person as a king because his secret strategies would be known to all through the parrots. He would discuss basically openly without understanding that the parrots imitate the voices and it would be all over the world. Achyuta and Nagasena might be the prominent kings. Now, the next king, Chandravarma. His kings are found in Uttar Pradesh. This is opinion by Haraprasada Shastri, Smith, and Banerjee. Chandravarma was an actual king. It would be Chandragupta of Marwar Kotan. Mehroli inscriptions mention about King Chandra, who might be Chandravarma. Now about King Nandi and Nagadatta, we have no information available about him. Coming to Balavarma, as per Dikshit, he was king of Kamarupa, that is Assam, east of Arya. As it is said, the next generations went more to the east. Thus, here Samudragupta established one dictating power with only one king by creating the monopoly over complete Aryavarta. Coming to the next line of the inscription, Paricharaki Kruta Sarva Atavika Rajasya. As I had earlier mentioned about the Atavikas in previous video, the one who made the chiefs of the forest kingdoms were reduced to his servantship. It is not easy to control the Atavikas, and he did that. Then coming towards the next, Samatata Davaka Kamarupa Nepal Kartrupura Adi Pratyanta Nupati Grihi Malavarjuna Ayana Yaudheya Madraka Bhira Prarjuna Sanakanka Kakapara Pari Kadibhishcha सर्व कर दानाज्ञा करण प्रणामागमन परितोषित प्रचंड शासनस्य. Now here comes the exact restrictions of the policy of Grahana Mokshanudari. The one whose commands were fully gratified by paying all kinds of taxes, by obeying his command, visiting him for the salutation by the frontier kings. Now here we find few more kingdoms. Samatata, Davaka, Kamarupa, Nepal, Kartrupura, Malava, Arjunayana, Yaudheya, Madra, Abhira, Prarjuna, Sanakanika, Kaka, Kharapanik. Now the kingdom of Samatata. About it, UN says that this area is Tamralikti, which is near the sea. The area of Ganga and Brahmaputra rivers delta region, Tribhuja Pradesha, that might be Samatata. Now about Davaka, Smith says that it is Dinajpur, Bogra, Rajashan. Bhandarkar says that it's Chittorgarh's regions. Kamarupa is clearly Assam. Nepal is Nepal. Kartrupura, according to Fleet, Jalandhar's Kartarpur is Kartrupura. It sounds quite similar as well. Few say that it is the mountain region of Rudraprayag, that is Kumaon Garhwal. Then Malavagana. After battle with Chandragupta Maurya, his Malavaganas came to central India gradually. Near Jaipur in Rajputana, many coins of Malavaganas are found. And this Malavaganas kingdom is a democratic kingdom. Arjunayana, it is also a democratic government, eastern region of Jaipur and Alwar, and we find the coins of Arjunayana. Yaudheya, again a democratic kingdom, now region of Satluj and Yamuna. Many coins of Yaudheyas are found. They ruled the Kushana's kingdom, Mathura, in winter as it was the winter capital. Madra, it would be Sialkot, the region between Ravi and Chenab. Saket was their earlier capital. Abhira, Madhya Pradesh, Betwa and Parvati Nadi's bank, Ochwa. Kshatrapa's inscription includes the mention of Abhira. Now Praljuna, Bhandarkar says it would be, it might be in central India, Narsimhapur. Sanakanika. Now the inscription mentions about Sanakanika being Chandragupta II's feudatory. About the kingdom named Kaka, we have no information available. And even about Kharaparika. Coming to next. अनेक भ्रष्ट राज्योत संत राजवंश प्रतिष्ठापनोद्भूत निखिल भुवन विचरण शांत यशसः. The one whose fame came to peace after wandering over the whole world, which was born of his reinstating many ruling families which were defeated. Basically, how we did Anugraha. He conferred autonomy with restrictions. दैवपुत्र शाही शाहान शाही शुकमुरुंडैः संहन कादिविश्च सर्वद्वीपवासिभिः आत्मनिवेदन कन्योपायन दान गरुत्मदंक स्वविषय गुप्त शासन याचनादि उपाय सेवा कृत बाहुवीर्य प्रसर धरणिबद्धस्य. This one, the one who bound together whole earth by means of all strength of his arms, affecting by means of rendering, offering maidens, asking him for enjoyment of his own territory, soliciting the charter, seal, etc. by the kings of all the islands. Now here, Daivaputra Shahi Shahi. This is an epithet given to Kushanas. Smith and Fleet have an opinion that these are three different princes of Kushanas, Daivaputra, Shahi. But Bhandarkar says these can't be anyone's name. This could be this name. And we find these names and we find these words in Kushana's inscriptions. And Kushanas were important rulers, important king, because an inscription in Afghanistan mentions about important king of Kushan. The area of rule was Central Asia, uh, that is Punjab, Kashmir of the Kushanas. It was the first capital, and Purushpur, that is Peshawar, was the second capital. Then Shukamurunda. Few say Shuka means Afghanistan, Murunda means Central Asia as different places. Few opine that this is about Shaka near Patliputra. Few say that Murunda were the kings of Shaka near Shaka dynasty. Stenkono says Kushanas were Murunda. Kshatrapas settled elsewhere were called as Shaka. But we don't find exact opinion which could be completely accepted about Shukamurunda. Then Sainkalaka, it is about Sinhala in Sri Lanka. The Ceylon king Meghavarma, with permission of Guptas, built Mahabodhi Sangharama Vihara. This mention is done in Chronicles of in Chinese Chronicles. Few say that Yuan Sang himself was the writer of this Chinese Chronicles. Saravadvipa, Indonesia, Java, Sumatra, that is the Southeast Asian islands. Atmanivedana is told that confession and surrendering. It is basically described how forgiving Sanskrit was. Kanyopayana is also a word mentioned in the sentence, that is gifting maidens. Coming to next line, Prithivya Aprathiradasya, the one who had no antagonist, no rival in the world. Sucharita Shatalam Krutaneka Guna Gunotsi Vish Charanatala Pramustanya Nara Pakirti. The one who wiped out fame of other kings, sold by his excessive virtues, by hundreds of meritorious deeds. Then, Sadhu Asadhu Daya Pralaya Hetu Purushasya, the one who was responsible for upliftment of the virtuous and destruction of the evil. Achinthyasya, the one whose policies were incomprehensible. Bhavatya Vanita Matra Grahyam Hridayasya, the one whose tender heart could be won by devotion and submission. Anukampavataha, the one who was compassionate. Krupana Dinanatha Tura Janodharana Mantra Dikshati Upagata Manasbha, the one whose mind was engrossed with initiation of the charm of helping the poor, helpless, and those who were afflicted with disease. Samidhasya Vigrahavataha Lokanugrahasya, the one who was a glorious embodiment of spirit of compassion for subjects. Dhanada Varunendrantaka Samayasya, the one who was equal to Kubera, Varuna, Indra, and Yer. Now here, why these are included, like Dhanada, Varuna, Antaka, and Indra. These are the Chatur. These are the four divine beings who are not just the deities, but these indicate the four directions. Antaka, that is Yama, is to the south. Dhanada, that is Kubera, is to north. Varuna is to west. Indra is to east. Now, why these are only used? Now, not just the directions have this importance by telling that he was the king of all the four directions, but also one more thing, Antaka, that is the one who puts to end all the beings who are against Dharma. Dhanada, that is Kubera, he is very rich, his treasury is flowing with lots of money, with lots of wealth. Varuna, now Varuna deity is the deity of cosmic law. He holds and he holds the law. He sees what is going on right or wrong in all the directions of the world. In Vedas, it is said, it is described that Varuna's spies are everywhere, keeping an eye on people, whether they are following the rules or not. Then Indra, that is the king of gods. That's why, along with the meaning and along with of their significance of being the lords of all the four directions, these words have been used. स्वभुज बल विजित अनेक नरपती विभव प्रत्यर्पणा नित्य व्यापृता युक्त पुरुषस्य. The one whose ministers were always engaged in the act of restoring royal wealth to the numerous kings won by him by the strength of his arms. निशित विदग्ध मती गांधर्व ललितैर क्रीडित त्रिदशपति गुरु नारदादे. The one who put to shame by his sharp and refined intellect and by his performing arts the preceptor of Lord of gods like Tumbura, that is Bruhaspati and Narada. दिग्वज्जनो उपजीव्य अनेक काव्य क्रियाभिः प्रतिष्ठित कविराज शब्दस्य. The one who established the title of Kaviraj, meaningful by various poetical compositions, which became the means of subsistence of the learned. It shows that he was even a poet. Suchirastota Vyanekadvitodara Charitasya. The one who performed wonderful noble deeds worthy to be praised for long. लोकसमय क्रियानो विधान मात्र मानुष्यस्य लोकधामो देवस्य. The one who is mortal only so far as he performs deeds as per the convention of the world, but otherwise he is indeed the God who is residing on the earth. महाराज श्री गुप्त प्रपौत्रस्य महाराज श्री घटोत्कच पौत्रस्य महाराजाधिराज श्री चंद्रगुप्त पुत्रस्य लिच्छवि दौहित्रस्य महादेव्या कुमारदेव्याम् उत्पन्नस्य महाराजाधिराज श्री समुद्रगुप्तस्य सर्व पृथ्वी विजय जनितो दयव्याप्त निखिलावनितला. The one who was great grandson of King Shri Gupta, grandson of Ghatotkacha, son of great King Chandragupta and daughter's son of Lichhavi, begotten to Mahadevi Kumaradevi. The glorious King Samudragupta, whose fame heaped after attaining the rule over the whole earth. कीर्तिमितात श्री दशपति भवन गमन आप्त ललित सुख विचरणा चक्षमाण इव बाहुरयम उच्छ्रितः स्कंध. The column has been erected which proclaims the fame acquired through his conquest of the whole world, which has pervaded the world and has moved gracefully and happily by going to the abode of lords of God, that is Indra. प्रदान भुज विक्रम प्रशम शास्त्र वाक्योदयीन रूपयु परिसंचयोच्छ्रित मनेक मार्गम यशवत् पुनाति भुवनत्रयं पशुपतेर जतांत गुहा विरोध परिमोक्ष शीघ्र विव पांडुरंगांगम पयः. Now this is poetry. The one whose fame is which rises up in layers one above another because of his generosity, prowess of his arms, self-restraint, his proficiency in injunctions, that is, knowledge of the scriptures spread in many ways like the pure and white water of Ganga, which flows higher and higher and flows rapidly, being liberated from the constraint in the cave in the form of matted hair of Krishna. एतच्च काव्यमेषामेव भट्टारकपादानां दासस्य समीप परिसर्पणानुग्रहोन्मिलितं मतेः खाद्यटपाकितस्य महादण्डनायक ध्रुवभूतिपुत्रस्य सन्धिविग्रहिक कुमारमात्य महादण्डनायक हरिशेणस्य सर्वभूतहितसिद्धायास्तु अनुष्ठितं च परमभट्टारक पादानुग्रहेण महादण्डनायक तिलकमृतेः. Now it tells who has written this Prashasti. This poetical composition of Khadya Tapakika, the son of great leader of forces, Dhruva, the officer for peace and war, Harishena, who is the slave of the same feet of Bhattaraka, and whose mind is expanded by the favor of constantly walking about in his presence. Let it be for the welfare and happiness of all the existing beings. The accomplishment of the matter has been effected by Mahadandanayak Tilakabhattaka, who meditates on the feet of Paramabhattaraka. Now here we come to an end of Samudragupta's pillar inscription. Do tell us how do you find the inscription series? how was your experience and what do you would like to hear more from us? We also have an Instagram page, sanskrit.vedashri. Please follow it. Till then, stay tuned for the next episode. Dhanyawad.